Talking with State Senator Andrew Chesney at the Capitol. Senator, we're in late spring legislative session, and oftentimes that means that legislation can be introduced, voted on, passed out of the chambers and on to the governor, who immediately signs it within a very short period of time. And that's something that recently happened with a major change to Illinois' election law.
Yeah, so we had a major change in Illinois election law that was right in the middle of the election cycle. And in the simplest of way to explain it is, if nobody files for Democrat or Republican in a primary and nobody runs in that primary, the party, both Democrat and Republican, can essentially slate a candidate. Republican Party did a very nice job recruiting people this year, and the Democrats took notice of that and then passed a law within 48 hours to prohibit the slating process that has been in place for decades. And so, we talk a lot about how the Democrats are stealing elections and how they're doing these gimmicks to resist competition, and this is what they're doing, right? And so we're seeing this in action. And so, we want open, free, and fair elections. We want people to compete and have the opportunity to compete freely. And this actually takes away the voice of the people. And so you're going to have fewer people competing in these respective races. Now, we did have a judge that has put a hold on the implementation of this law. It's going to be debated in the courts. I think you'll find that the courts are going to say that you can you can't change the rules in the middle of the game, and they're going to rule in the Republicans' favor, so we can compete. And we know there are uphill climbs in the elections that we're trying to compete. It's not the point. The point is that the people deserve a choice in all these elections, and we've had a process in place for several decades. Both Democrats and Republicans have benefited from the slating process to give the people opportunities to choose between one party or the other, or an independent if they choose. But in this case, it only impacted Republicans or Democrats. And it's my view that the judge should overrule the legislature's decision and do the right thing and allow everybody to compete.
You mentioned free and fair elections and voter choice. I mean, that's what the whole democratic process is about.
That's right. I mean, we want people to choose, and even if they don't agree with me or another Republican or those that are listening, if they're Democrats, we want people to compete, and we want the ability for people to have a choice. And we've always had a process in place for several decades to allow for a choice to be had in November, and the Democrats took it away in 48 hours because the Republicans did a very good job recruiting candidates and a very good job getting people on board, and the Democrats took notice of that and changed the rules. And I don't see how this is constitutional. I think you could give a lot of examples and a lot of scenarios where this is not constitutional, and I think that you're going to find that if this gets its way to the Illinois Supreme Court, that they will rule that this is not a constitutional action that was taken by the legislature, that was signed off on and signed into law by the governor.
All right. Senator Andrew Chesney, thanks very much.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Okay.